I fucking hate customer service workers and I'm tired of pretending I don't. And before you get mad, I have worked in customer service. It's not that hard to smile at someone. It's not that hard to be nice to someone or to be decent. But I get it. The economy's going to shit. People are getting away with all sorts of fucked up labor law violations left and right. And dealing with the general public is not for the weak. But I swear to fucking God, I've been on both sides. Like, trust me, I've worked jobs where it's like the easiest job ever, no fucking stress. I once remember I worked a job where all you had, like, it was like 21 an hour. You just sit at the desk and you press one single button to open a door, and even that's optional, and then you just pretend to be busy for the rest of your 8 hours. So I remember I was at my job, like, looking at Tumblr, Pinterest, YouTube, Twitter, having a fucking blast, and all I had to do was just look busy and look like I was actually doing something important. And then occasionally someone would be like, hi, can I where's the management office? And then I'd point down the hall and say, oh, it's going to be right down there. My whole job at that temp agency was to press a fucking button. Simple as that. But I still had this one bitch who showed up to the job, and let's just say it's like, why are you screaming at the top of your lungs, snapping at people, being aggressive and abrasive? It's like, a DoorDash would be like, would just show up like, hi, and then show their phone, and then she'd be already yelling like, go down the hall that way. Why are you talking to me? And it's like, girl, it's not that serious. Or, oh, I'm about to get angry because I have so many stories of this. Strap in, this might be a long video. I also hate, like, I hate people who take their job so seriously when it's not that fucking serious. Like, I swear to God, I had, like, two different experiences where it's like, oh, hey, look, these teenagers who clearly look like they're 17, 18 are trying to watch this fucking movie, but they don't have legal identification. Why? Because they're still in high school, obviously. So even though they can go see this movie, Deadpool, how about instead I tell them to go fuck themselves, and I threaten to call the cops and to call their parents. And then during the entire refund process, I remember this old hag kept repeating. She said like 18 fucking times, "You need to have an identification. You have to go. You can only get into that movie if you're 18." And we kept saying we are indeed that age. Yes, we just don't have that. We have to be 17. And we kept saying, we know, we heard you the first time. And then eventually, once she got to the 17th time of saying that, we both said, "Oh my fucking God, we heard you. Hurry up and give us our money back," because she was pissing us the fuck off. I remember I once tried to go to this cool fucking museum. I think it's called the Exploratorium in San Francisco. And I was gonna check that shit out. And I swear to fucking God, like, bitch, you should have seen the way, like, I brought my vax card, I brought my identification, everything was good, but because I was like a month post, like, out of the, I don't know, I forget how often you're supposed to get vaccinated. Back then it was like 3 to 6 months, and I guess I was a single month out from when I was supposed to get my last vaccine updated, or more like a few weeks. And then this motherfucker just was like, "You're not vaccinated, you can't get in." And I was like, "Huh? Oh, yes I am, I gave you my vax card and everything." He said, "It's, you didn't get it updated, it doesn't count." And so that could have just been the end of it. He didn't need to talk to me that way, but I was like, "Oh, okay, I understand, yeah." And I was sticking out my hand so I could just like take my card back, and instead of just handing it back to me, he just kept staring at it, then repeating like, "You can't get in unless you're vaccinated. You have to be vaccinated to get in. You can't fucking get in otherwise." And I was like, "Sir, we heard you the first million times. Give me my shit back so that we can go to the refund counter." Like, it's not like he was acting as if we were just standing there trying to demand to be let in otherwise. And it's like, why you, oh, it's like, I hate these motherfuckers. If you're ever like to me, why do you stay inside with your hair looking the way it does, just naked in your bedroom, fucking talking shit on the internet? It's because the general public pisses me off. And I think COVID made people a lot more fucking stupid in a million goddamn ways. Everyone lost their fucking mind and their shit, and the egos are out through the roof now. They were already pretty bad before, but I swear to God, I'm just fucking saying. Like, I remember I went out to eat at this burger joint, and I remember I was like, I ordered like blue cheese and bacon on my burger, but I don't think yeah, I'm not tasting or seeing the bacon, but I'm already like 3 bites in. I don't want to look like a liar, but I'll just nicely come talk to this waitress. Surely she'll be nice to me, a very like polite and like damn near mouse like teenage girl who's just trying to, like, make sure she either gets the bacon or doesn't have it added to her bill. But you know what happened instead? Let's just say this dumbass bitch didn't understand what I meant. She didn't speak English that well, and that's something that annoys me. Because you'll look like a racist if you say that you don't, like, enjoy language barriers and shit. But it's true, I don't enjoy language barriers. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be in this country. I'm not saying that, but I'm just, it's like, if you're working a job and I can't even say to you, "Hi, I ordered bacon on my burger and I don't think I got it. Can I just ask, like, did it get added to my bill? Or if it's possible, I could even just be brought out the bacon separately? And then this dumbass bitch immediately got to huffing and puffing, and she started screaming in my face like, there was no bacon on that burger. That burger does not come with bacon. And I explained like, oh, I know that. I'm not saying it did. I'm saying I ordered bacon to be added. But she was not listening. She was seeing red. She was like, no bacon comes with that order. No bacon comes with that. And then she was slamming open fucking menus hella loud and flipping open pages and tapping the menu like, see, no bacon comes on that burger. And it's like, why are you trying? And then let's just say like, oh, she was such a bitch. And then it was so bad that the manager had forced her to apologize to me, and she did that fake ass like Jeff the Killer ass face of like, I'm sorry, are you okay, would you like to report it, like, fuck you. And I should have raised hell, but I was a teenager back then. At that point I was like, I'm never coming to this place again. Like, what the fuck, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna be miserable, what the fuck. Also, I like, really, it's like, see, because this is why I like to be rude to people now. I don't give a fuck. And by rude, I'm not saying I like to be rude. I'm just saying, like, if you're giving me attitude and it's unnecessary, it's like spitting my fucking food. I don't care. I have a fucking kink for that. It's like, if it, like, because guess what? Why are you trying to clown me? This one burrito joint I used to frequent often. Like, every Thursday I'd go there, get some burrito tacos, and enjoy the comedy show. This cunt, there was this girl, she was like nice nasty, and you're like, what's nice nasty? It's when someone gives the energy of being nice, like, oh hi, but you know they're secretly side-eyeing your outfit and secretly gonna talk shit about you when you walk away, and that they actually are kind of snarky. They just use the nice tone with it, like, fucking two-faced bitches, green tea bitch. You think it's gonna be sweet, they're actually bitter. And I remember I ordered food from this place, and like every week they did it great, great, great. And then out of nowhere, it's like they were giving me birria tacos. And what how they'd always do it is like, the orange shell, nice and sauced up, nice cheese, nice meat. And they'd give me like a shit ton of caramelized onions on the side. That's great. Until one week they gave me just a bunch of like damn near raw onions. And it's like, if the highlight is coming to this place and spending a shit ton of money so I can get caramelized onions, like, the nice like French onion soupy kind, and then you give me a bunch of raw onions, plus I was having heart issues around then, so I was like, they're kind of brown, will they taste the same? No, they were sour, bitter, and then my heart instantly got pain. And when I had to go back up there and be like, oh, excuse me, I would like my onions caramelized, like brown, and like they suddenly acted like that I was insane and that they had always served my onions like that before. Like, no, nigga, these shits are purple and slightly tanned. Like, on some, like, come on now. And then each time I went by, it was something different, something new. It's like, okay, I get the birria tacos, but now it's like the shell is not orange and there's not as much sauce on it. And then I remember I was like, hi, can I get like, it's like, I don't even want to talk about this so too hard, or else I'm gonna have an aneurysm. But it's like one week they'd be like, "Oh, I see, you want the red paint," and he'd get a little bottle of something and spray it all over my food. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I'll know to call it red paint next time. I don't know what it is, but if I try to eat the tacos without it, it tastes bad. And so I had to go up next fucking week. And then guess what? They served me the same bland tacos, not orange, not sauced up again. I was like, "Hi, can I get that the red paint like last week?" He acted like I was an entirely new person and that he had never met me before in my life. And he's like, "Red paint? What the fuck?" Like, he acted like I was schizophrenic. I had to explain, and I tried my best to explain it, and eventually I just had to say the same thing you always put on each time that you didn't put on this time. I don't know how else to explain it but that. And then this idiot, he's like, you want some grease? And so he gave me some, like, or I don't know, I think he was like, oh, you want some grease? And then he put on some like grease from the grill on my tacos. Did it add flavor? Not really. It just made them greasy. I came back. I was like, that's not it. He was like, you want the sauce, right? I assumed, I was like, yes, yes, I want the sauce. And he just takes what looks like an entirely different bottle of red stuff with chunks in it. And before he put it on, I said, hey, 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 wait, wait. Is that spicy? Is that like spicy hot sauce? Because I don't want that unless it's like the same sauce you always put on my birria to make it taste really good. And he was like, yeah, yeah. No, 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 not hot sauce. No hot sauce. No hot. No spicy. And I was like, okay, guess what? He put that shit all over my tacos. I took one bite. It was indeed hot sauce. I had to come back. And then finally he just was like, "Oh, I see." And he gave me a cup of consomme. And it's like, and at that, and so I remember at some point I was suicidal as fucking nihilistic. I went to that joint. I didn't give a fuck because I didn't give a fuck if I lived or died, and life was hard enough. And like, a bitch was suicidal. If I'm willing to walk up to a Latina fucking customer service worker and go through the odds of pissing her off if it means I will finally get my right fucking food. You have to be really suicidal to be like, I'm gonna fucking bicker with a Latina woman who works a job today at her job. She tried to do some gaslighty shit, like, I just listed it all out step by step. I was like, can I get the birria tacos, and can I get them with the orange shell and with the consomme inside of the tacos but not a cup on the side, and can I get them with the onions caramelized brown and, like, actually, like, nice and soggy and deep rich brown like that, and can I also get them with a radish on the side and some limes. And she gave me some looks and then kept saying little snarky remarks until she finally said, You're here every week, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "We know your order, girl." I said, "Well, clearly not, because it shows up different every time." She's like, "I mean, yeah, but we know your order." And I said, "Yeah, but clearly you don't, because each time I've gotten it, it's been an entirely different set of tacos. I don't know." So simply put, I'm telling you because I'm tired of talking with the people at the end because they don't speak English. I'm tired of getting new food every week and needing to come here back and forth. And by the time I finally get my food right, it's either still not made right or it's entirely cold by the time I get everything I want on it. So here I am letting you know that I want these tacos with these sorts of onions in this color, in this sauce, because I want to make sure that I at least can tell you, and that hopefully you can tell them, because I've gotten the wrong food orders for weeks, and I'm tired of getting onions that cause me heartburn, and I'm tired of getting unflavored birria consomme tacos, and yeah, it's like, yeah. And she was like, "Okay." And she talked to the people, and I finally got my fucking food right. I'm so tired of customer service people. I just got done being on DoorDash a second ago. I don't know if I already told this. If I did, I'm sorry. But either way, I was trying to basically, I was like, "Oh, I want to place an order from CVS to, like, be delivered to my house, but they're only showing this one specific location that doesn't have the items I want. And it's within a 1 mile radius. I know there's like 7 other CVS's though, like within a 1 or 2 mile radius. So why are they only showing me this one?" I contacted customer support, and I swear to God, oh, it's like I think something is happening with, like, Amazon and DoorDash where they're hiring people from other countries, probably because it's cheaper than paying people in America. Capitalism will be the death of us all. So I'm noticing that it'll be like, I can say something that will make sense to someone who speaks English or, like, has half of a fucking brain. I'll be like, "Hi, I want to place an order for from the CVS chain franchise to be sent to my house, but can I change the location? Because the location that it's set to doesn't have the items I want, but I know places that do." And then instead of, like, any sort of cohesive response, it's just someone named fucking Anwar or Minesh or something. Lovely names, God bless those names, but the people are fucking dumb. They'll say something entirely unrelated. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, some stores cancel orders, so you should probably wait again before replacing your order, and then or try looking for another location." What the fuck is that supposed? What, that has nothing to do with what I said, and now you're about to make me very, very angry. And then I keep trying to talk to people on fucking Amazon too, or like DoorDash, and I keep getting the stupidest fucking people ever. You will say something that makes total, like, oh, just, it gets on my fucking nerves. I remember I went to this fucking place in Vallejo called Bambino's. They have a pretty good happy hour. I went there by myself, and I swear to God, it was like 7 different people, like, all looked like they were like teenager to like early 20s or something. Like baby faced motherfuckers. And I walk in, and the restaurant's totally fucking empty. And then it's like 7, 8 of them just standing around talking shit with their arms crossed. And then I walk in, and I ask the simple question of, "Sorry, hi, so can I just sit anywhere, or, like, do I have to be sat here myself, or, like, cuz sometimes you walk into places and they go, 'Oh, hi.' Like, I walked in, no one said anything to me, no one greeted me, they just stared me down or continued their conversations. So it's like, okay, do I just want to sit somewhere random and then they sass me? Like, 'Oh, we're supposed to choose your seating for you.' Or do I, like, just, like, go up there and then they seat me somewhere specific because I don't like pissing people off? Anyway, they acted like I was the most stupid fucking. They acted like I was speaking fucking Spanglish with a tad of Japanese. They were looking at me like I had a fucking grown a fucking third head, or and a second head, or like I fucked someone's grandmother's dog, and they were just like, They had such a fucking attitude, I swear to fucking God. And anyway, then I got sat down, and then like it took forever for me to get service. That at some point I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna eat here, because this happy hour deal does look great, I'm not gonna deal with this rude ass service of these people who look like they don't want to fucking be here and are acting like I'm the worst person in the world because I wanted to support a fucking small business on a fucking weekday afternoon. So then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me. I texted my then boyfriend, or whatever you call him. I texted him like, hey Jared, do you want to come to me to Bambino's for the happy hour? He's like, that sounds great. So I went back to his place. We met up. We went to Bambino's together. And, you know, he sometimes liked to pretend I was just crazy when I had bad customer service experiences. But you know what? Guess what happened? Like the exact same shit as before. And then, like, endless people were walking past us. No one was giving us bread. No one was giving us waters, menus, anything. And he was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, he was seething fucking mad, and he was like, now I see how you feel, Tamia, on your average day. Whenever I see why you go on and yell at customer service people sometimes, because this is fucking ridiculous. And I'm not kidding, it took like, how do I put this, usually you get like waters and menus like the second you sit down, but imagine you see like fucking 8 people just standing around bullshitting on their phone talking shit, not in an empty fucking restaurant where there's one other table, and it's like two fucking old people, and then you're just being ignored for like 8 minutes. It's like, yeah, that shit was ridiculous. Thankfully, this absolute angel from heaven, she had cute little bangs with the little side tendrils, and her hair in a cute little sassy updo, and she had some cute butterfly earrings that she clearly either handmade herself or got off of Etsy, and you know they cost her a pretty penny because they looked fucking amazing. She was like an angel sent from heaven. She was so sweet and awesome, and ah, and we had such a great time. I see why some people say you never truly know what good is until you have bad. Because she was like a cup of the best, most crisp, drinkable, slurpable fucking water ever in a Sahara desert you've been in for 20 fucking years. I was like, let's fucking go. This is what I love. She was the best person ever, and me and him got to enjoy our little pizza sticks and buffalo wings and mozzarella sticks with total fucking ease and happiness and our ice cream, and it was a great fucking day. And I had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. But yeah, bitches are pissing me off. It's like I'm very tired of like walking into restaurants and it's like, okay, like, do I? Cause oh yeah, I went to a restaurant just recently, this fucking Korean joint. Anytime I've gone there, it's been bad, but the food is fucking fantastic, so that's why I've gone back. And oh my god, it's like this girl, I walked up to her, I was like, we could sit just anywhere, right? Because, you know, there was no one else there. She was like, huh? I said, can we sit just anywhere? It doesn't matter where we sit. Huh? Are we, and then it's like, okay, it's like she did speak English though, perfect English. She just, the music was playing way too loud in there, and I was like, oh, are we? But you could tell from my gestures of my hands and stuff that I'm, and you from my mouth you could clearly tell what I was saying. Either way, I asked a third time, I was like, you could just sit, it doesn't matter where we sit, or do I have to sit somewhere specific that you pick? She looked at me like I was stupid. She was like, no, you can sit anywhere. Guess what? Me and my date chose to sit in the far back in this one specific corner, and then suddenly she wants to be like, oh, actually, that spot's reserved. You can't, I don't know if you should sit there. Oh, bitch, you knew. Like, why? And, I'm tired of, like, this shit just pisses me. Going outside is exhausting as fuck. Like, I actually remember I was gonna buy groceries. I was like, I'm gonna buy groceries. I had a nice cart of groceries. I was gonna be so happy. But if I get disrespected, I'm leaving. Because I don't have the mental capacity or patience for shit like that. I really fucking don't. And I swear to God, like, it seemed like I typed in my number, and then every single coupon that I was trying to, like, use for every item I got that was valid on the tag suddenly was not available. And I usually take pictures of every single fucking coupon or like discount or 50% off. Like, I take pictures of the tag so that people can't gaslight me at the registers and say that I'm insane or whatever. But this one bitch, she just had the energy of, oh my fucking god, bruh. Like, you could tell she didn't like her fucking life and didn't want to be there and shit. Like, she clearly just. Either way, I was trying so hard to be good and be nice and communicate well with her, and she was being a fucking cunt. Capital C. Hard T. Uh. Anyway, let's just say me trying to show her pictures on my phone and hopefully she could make alterations for discounts, like, and I kept asking her like, "Oh, is this item in correctly charged? Is this item this amount on the register? And I let her know I was going to be doing that in advance, but then she kept trying to. I can't even explain this without getting mad. Let's just say, if you've never seen a bitch just like slackjaw staring at the ceiling in space, rolling her eyes at you every time you ask, like, "Hi, is this item? Are the green beans like 3.99 on the register? Are they popping up like that?" Because that's what they said they were at the when I got them off the shelf. And then her like basically give me mad silence and huffing and saying, "No, they aren't." And then I was like, "Oh, can you make an adjustment?" And then her rolling her eyes and then not making an adjustment. But I assume she'd do it at the end. But it just went on for like seven more items. And then it's like, okay, you know what? I got these bitches in line snarling at me, mad at me, as if I'm the fucking issue here because I want items to be correctly fucking labeled and like want to be charged according to the fucking label and shit. And let's just say I just kind of decided for myself, you know what? Fuck this. So I told her, I'll be right back. And I knew I wasn't coming back. I just left her there. And then once she like looked and saw me like full on leaving towards the exits so that she was gonna be forced to like rebag up all the shit that I left her with and like cancel and void that entire order and just all she started yelling and screaming with her ratchet ass, but that's not my issue. It's like, yeah. It's like never I'm not it's like I'm not gonna give business money to a business where I'm getting treated like shit and I'm being disrespected and I can't like get any bare minimum assistance. And like Jesus Christ, like sometimes I've worked at a restaurant. I've worked at several restaurants. You don't like I know that customers can be stupid as fuck, but I also know that sometimes customer service workers are idiots. Like Jesus Christ, I remember it's like this one girl. It's like her job was simple: put stickers on paper bags, fold up utensils, and then occasionally wash some like cups and glasses. But she would leave every cup fucking filthy. And it's like that's a hygiene risk and a health hazard. And she just wouldn't do her fucking job. And then I was picking up more slack and shit. And eventually my boss, Nika, she tried to be all, ooh, make sure you're folding utensils and stickering bags when you have a free moment. And make sure every table has cups of water on them. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not my fucking job. That's Tiffany. You hired Tiffany. So that's Tiffany's job. Let Tiffany do her job. And if you don't like how Tiffany does her job, then fire Tiffany. Like, bitch, the only Tiffany I want to deal with is the fucking bracelets. Fuck you talking about. Some people just work and live their lives as if like, oh my god, I there's this one cafe in my city. I like their food, I hate their customer service. I have a very long story I could tell you about a time with a language barrier and like, oh yeah, actually I'll tell you to you because fuck it, this video is long enough. I asked her for the sweet potato fries. The lady did not speak good enough English, so she was like, ah, galify. I said, oh no, sweet potato, like sweet potato, orange. I want the sweet potato fry. She said, ah, fry, garlic fry. I was like, no, the sweet. And then I even pointed on the menu because after like four times of having to repeat myself, eight times even, I pointed on the menu. I pointed to the words sweet potato fry and the little Chinese translation next to it. This bitch, with her bad vision, she was a little bit older. She thought I was pointing to what was below it. And guess which words were below it? Ah, galify. And then I was like, I should just give up. The soup and salad and the happy hour special might not be worth this. This is fucking shitty. Eventually, finally, it took fucking forever. It felt like fucking 8 minutes of just trying to explain the concept of orange, sweet, potato, yam, fries to this woman. But finally she was like, ah, I see. Oh, sorry. I was like, it's okay. Because I sympathize. It's like, okay, not everyone speaks English. Some people come here later than others. It's a process. And, she deserves respect. She's a lovely lady. She brought me the most dry, burnt, sweet potato fries ever received in my entire fucking life. Anyway, let's just say I tried to leave the place, and let's just say I got hunted down by a fucking old, very angry Chinese and or Japanese man. And it's like I could have broke out into a sprint and probably not. It was only $10 anyway. But anyway, and that was when I was like what 14, 15. I was like, yeah. But yeah, I'm still holding a grudge about that. Anyway, I hardly have went back, but then I went back sometime like twice this year. Because I was like, you know what? This place smells amazing and I'm right in the area. I would kill for some egg puffs. And I went for the egg puffs. This, I didn't tip beforehand though. Why? Because you never know how customer service is going to be or if the food's going to be any fucking good. Also, no offense, I don't really feel like people should be obligated to a tip anyway if a business is paying you enough. But tips are nice. Either way, all I knew is I paid for my food normally. I didn't add a tip in advance, and then the ladies sort of glared at me from behind the counter. Not also, I have even more bad experiences with this place. Oh, funny enough, intermission. I remember, funny enough, leading up to the sweet potato fry girl, one of my first times in this place, I was like, "Hi, it's my first time here. So do I just grab a menu from here and choose my own seat, or do I get seated by one of you two?" And the two rude little Chinese bitches, they stared at me, and then they stared at each other, and then they stared at me, and then stared at each other, and then stared at me. And I said, "Oh, like, can I just sit anywhere, or do I have to be seated by someone like you? Like, are you gonna seat me, or do I seat myself?" They did the exact same long ass side eye stare and glare with no, like, just zero customer service skills. So I just go death glare at them, grab a menu, and then sit somewhere random. And then they just kind of go, "Oh, oh, oh," like with total audacity. And then I sit down, and then they start being like, "Oh, actually, you can't sit there. Oh, that's specific seating for somebody. Oh, you know," and it's like, "Yeah, bitch, maybe you should have done your fucking job. I swear to God." Uh, idiots, I tell you. But I, so anyway, but the food there is good and the decor is nice and it's very beautiful as an area. But I'm gonna move on. So like I was saying before, I went there sometime this year. So it's been like almost a decade. I went there again. Guess what? I went there, placed an order at the front for pickup, just like a simple order of like some fucking, I don't know, like already kind of overpriced but still good egg puffs. Like, and let's just say there were two bitches working at the front, and then it took a while, and time kept ticking, 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 ticking. And then I was like, what's taking them so long? And then I remembered at some point that like I did see an Asian girl, like one of them just kind of like tossed a bag haphazardly and like threw it at the fucking counter. And then but like on their side of the counter, not the side where a customer could reach it, and there was no, "Excuse me, ma'am, this is your order." Like this bitch just like threw what looks like my food on like some random sidewall in their area and didn't bother to announce it. So then I was waiting for another 10 minutes for fucking nothing. And then I said, "Excuse me, I'm waiting for my food." They said, "What did you order?" Like, and I said, "The egg puffs." And then they were like, "We never got an order for any egg puffs. I don't see any." And I was like, "Is it that one?" And I pointed to the bag. They looked at it, quietly pushed it my way. I didn't say thank you, and I just walked out. And I just thought to myself, see, that's why you don't tip in fucking advance, because it's like, why should I have to bribe you to like give me good customer service? Like, really, bitch? Like, that's also why I don't like DoorDashers, really. Like, this one guy, actually, I placed an order with him off of the website Seamless, and what happened was, like, the directions were pretty simple. Leave them on my porch. I'm between this location and that location. And I named the color of my apartment and everything. And this total idiot with his ragtag ass friend, like, they just are like, "Oh, hey, so what's up with you not tipping before you get the food?" And I said, "Oh, well, yeah, I wouldn't tip before I get the food because like, how would I know if the food is any good, and how would I know the order came correctly?" And then this total idiot, he just was like, "Oh, well, what if I just drove off with your food then?" I said, "You go ahead and do that. I'll just get a refund in the app anyway and report it, so it's fine." And then he was like, he was kind of flabbergasted. Then he was like, "Well, I can't find your place." I said, "Well, it's pretty easy. Like, all you have to do is look between these two businesses with the bright blaring signs and you'll find it. It's not hard. And then you can just leave it on my porch." But he was insistent that I come out, I guess because he just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna inconvenience her." And it's like, let me just tell you, the stupidest shit you could fucking do. Like, it's like, how do I put this? DoorDashers, Uber drivers, all that, they kind of act in a way that makes it clear why they don't have a normal fucking job. They're not nice enough for a normal job. They're not smart enough for a normal job. They'll just show up and they'll just shove their phone like 2 millimeters from your fucking face and then scream a random name. Or not even, sometimes they don't even do that, and they'll just be mad at you for stupid fucking reasons. And then they'll go ahead and be like, "Huh, I took forever to bring this food to this girl. I can't believe she's not gonna tip me like $50, like for a 4 minute drive in advance." And it's like, bitch, if you don't like the job that much, don't fucking have it. Like, that's what I do. I've walked out of jobs. I have. I decided fuck food service, and I decided to go into hospitality instead, and I had a great fucking time in hospitality and still do. Like, it's not like Jesus. I never just and I'm so quick to just be like, "Oh, this food is not what I wanted, send it back." Or, actually, I'm not paying for this. Or, yeah, never mind, I'm gonna cancel my entire order here and just leave. Because I am so sick and fed up with, like, just Jesus. And as you can imagine, yes, like, I did have to come outside. I got my food from this stupid ass nigga who actually did know my address. He just, like, he literally was parked directly in front of it. He just chose to do that because he wanted to piss me off. And I reported him in the app, so now he has a strike on his fucking account, and I got, like, a $5 off coupon. Yippee! But yeah, some niggas are just really fucking stupid, and there's not much you can really do, and it's tiresome. Niggas make me sick. Ugh. It's like, how do I put this? If I'm being nice to you, as someone who's trying to, like, fund your business, the least you can do is be nice to me. You don't have to go obscenely above and beyond. No. It's nice when people do, but they don't need to. In fact, here's another example. I was at Victoria's Secret trying to do a refund on some, like, panties that didn't fit or whatever. Like, just like exchange them. And this fucking ugly bitch, I want to insult her body so bad, but I'm trying not to be a bad person and say that she's built like a whale. I'm sorry, but she is. And her little skinny bitch, Ozempic ass friend, like, they both were just like, let's just say they could have just done the little return process and it would have taken all of 30 fucking seconds. And instead it was like fucking 7 minutes of them, no, it took even longer than that if I recall correctly. They were just flirting with this random old man and having a long ass conversation with him, and it's like, okay, like, we got places in the mall we need to check out before they close, and I got places to be, and and they were just yammering on, flirting, yammering, talking, chatting, and one of them was just like out there, like, twirling her hair, hip swaying in his face, and the other one was just at the computer, not typing shit, not doing shit, just like chapping it up. And it's like, you see me and my boyfriend standing in front of you just trying to return these panties, and we were already there for a super long time already before, and it's just like, eventually I just had thought to myself, okay, I'm gonna speak up. It might make me look like a bitch, but it's true though. I said, oh, sorry, we're kind of like in a rush. And then, like, she gets attitude and she's like, okay then. And then I wanted to say, you're a fucking cunt and you shouldn't be working this job. Or I wanted to say, don't treat me like a bitch. I'm not asking for much. But instead, I said, sorry if that makes me a bitch. I have places to be, though, and I really have to pee. Did I have to pee? No. But I was willing to give her a cop out so that then, but even though I knew I wasn't being the asshole, but I was just trying to have this bitch hurry up. And she huffed and puffed and did her little typing on the computer bullshit. And then eventually it's like, she gave us our, like, the fucking exchange, and she was a total cunt the rest of the interaction, and I had to leave a bad review and hit up their corporate. And I almost wanted to steal some shit on the way out because, like, the store was entirely empty aside from just us and that old man, so that's what also made it even more infuriating. I wanted to take some shit so bad, but my stupid ass ex, he was like, no, no, don't do it. I knew you were gonna do it, so I was blocking you from the sparkle panties. I knew you wanted to do it, but I'm not trying to, but it's like, he should have just let me. And it's weird, it's like, so you're morally against stealing, Jared, but you're not morally against rape? That's kind of wild. I'm just saying. Same could be said for my ex, Morgan. Terrible people. Anyway, I fucking hate people. I hate customer service. I get it. It's hard to work customer service. You gotta deal with a lot of fucking boneheads. You do. But god damn. I've worked miserable, grueling jobs. I know how it feels to have a busy fucking Friday night and everyone's losing their goddamn minds in the vegan restaurant and they're all drunk and rowdy and shit. And you're understaffed with only two fucking people as your manager's off doing fuck knows what. I know how it feels to be someone who's waiting on their fucking pay that they are owed for months and months and months. I know how it feels to exist. I just know how it fucking feels. Just god damn it. Life's hard enough. You don't, like, some people like to make their jobs harder. They like to make their life harder, and it's tiresome. It's like, it's not hard to be nice to people on either sides. Be nice to customer service workers, but I swear to God, I'm so tired of dealing with bitches in restaurants where it's like, you show up and you say, hi, I have an order for pickup for Tamia. It was a cheeseburger and some cheese fries. And then I have to deal with the snarky ass fucking teenage to 20 something saying I look like a fucking weirdo and hating, and just having, it's like, nigga. Anyway, I remember I reported that shit. They were like, here's $25 worth of Shake Shack. Also, yeah, they're fired. Like, I don't know, act in a way, act like you got some fucking sense on both sides. Oh, I forgot to mention, me and my ex Jared, I remember I did tell them, ooh, you should try egg puffs, I think you'll love them. And we went back to that one cafe in my city. And I basically warned him, just so you know, the staff are really shitty. And also, last time I was here, it did seem like they intentionally, like, left my food waiting for super long because I didn't tip in advance, so just letting you know. He was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But you know, he forgot about it. And then guess what? We ordered our food. The same shit happened again, and it was an extra long wait. It was like 20 to 30 minutes of waiting before he finally was just like, okay, so what's up with our food? And then he fucking they just handed it to him like, oh, here you go, as because it was just sitting there the entire time. They didn't decide at any point to call out, oh, excuse me, we have your food. Oh, hey, your food's like, no, they were willing to let our food get stale and cold because they wanted to be that petty. And it's like, bitch, you just killed any chance that we were going to tip you by acting that way. And he was seething fucking mad, but you know, luck somehow, by a stroke of luck, the food was still warm, the ice cream on top of it was still relatively cold, and it was still bomb, so we forgave it. But Jesus, some places don't know how the fuck to act. Oh, I remember I got so pissed off because I was at this one Asian restaurant, and you're gonna it's so funny how you'll notice the reoccurring themes in these. No one else was fucking there. Like, it says that they closed at like 6. I showed up at like 5:30. They took hella long to make one fucking bowl of food, and they tied it up in a plastic bag for me. And mind you, by the time they finished my food, it was like fucking 5:45, and there was nothing wrong with me either. Like, I was just like a black person in a Chinese restaurant, dressed pretty decently well, smelled nice, like perfectly hygienic, but they were acting as if they were paranoid I was gonna steal some shit or whatever. And they gave me my food, and then the Asian ladies, both of them working there, and the cook in the back was just staring at me. The two Asian ladies kind of like did a weird huddle formation around me, as if they were preparing to like politely shoo me out of the restaurant. And then they handed me the food, and I was like, ah, thank you. And I was just gonna check in the bag to take a quick peek at the food, like just to make sure I had utensils and stuff. But then this bitch just yells, bye! Go, bye, you gotta go. And it's like, oh, and then they just shoo me out. And it's like, oh, I guess they wanted to close early or whatever. But it's like, guess what? I got all the way home before I realized I ordered and paid like $17 for some really, really, really like expensive, like double pork belly sort of soup meal. They gave me like, I don't even know what type of, it was like beef and like on a bed of like weird rice that it's like, I don't know how to explain it other than imagine someone got like bone broth and mixed it with rice and then added no flavorings whatsoever to make it actually have flavor. So you could taste something was there, it just wasn't a good taste. And then the meat was like this, it basically looked like they handed me a bowl full of like mulch. And it tasted like it too. And I was like, this is not remotely anything close to what I ordered. I tried to dispute it with my bank, but since I couldn't exactly access the fucking menu because they didn't have it on their Yelp page and stuff, and I was trying to prove, like, this is not my food. This is not remotely my food. I couldn't get my money back. Oh, man. But, yeah. Places piss me off. And, yeah. So if you're ever just, yeah, sometimes no offense, I kind of asked myself, like, hey, Tamia, why did you get in, like, these fucked up relationships where you relied on the dude financially and stayed with him for so long? And why didn't you just go outside and have a social life of your own? Oh, because when I seem to go out, it's as if every single customer service worker is just like, I'm gonna be the rudest, most dumbest fucking cunt there is to this girl who's trying her best to be very polite to me. And it's like, like, yeah, it's like you walk into Ulta, you're like, hi, I have a hair appointment for 2 o'clock, and they'll stare at you like you're a foreign alien, and you got to repeat yourself like 3 fucking times before they finally actually wake up from their fucking weird zoning out stage. And it's just like, oh, I have even more stories, which is the tragic part. Like, Jesus, it's like I would like to get a haircut where it's like I don't have to be shocked at what the price is because some bitch decided that my detangled, perfectly moisturized afro actually needed like an extra $100 of services that I did not actually fucking receive. And now I gotta bicker with this bitch. So that's why you see me with my hair not done, because I had to stop going there because they had me doing some bullshit and I had to flee from that fucking place and hide in some bushes and Uber myself home and ugh. Like, fuck that one specific hair salon. Just fucking exhausting, all of it. Like, I'll put it to you like this. No, like, I'm so tired of meeting stupid people in this world who have no brain cells, no manners, and yet they feel the need to be compensated for their awful, awful behaviors. It's like, that shit just makes me sick. In fact, even last night, I remember I placed a very simple order, and I swear to God, I placed an order for some garlic fries. They gave me normal fries. I came back and said, "Oh, hi, I didn't get the garlic fries." They made me another order of normal fries. What's up with people and just deciding that I don't deserve the fries that I actually want? Like, why is it like if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have two nickels, which isn't a lot. It's just strange that it happened twice. I remember I went to this one burger joint. Oh my god, that infuriated me so goddamn bad because I walked in and I was like, "Hi, excuse me, nice to meet you. I'd like to place an order for one burger, but I have this coupon. I just wanted to know, will it work here?" And he took my coupon and he was like, "Let me call my manager about it." He called his manager. And like, a few minutes went by, like, and then I guess he took some other phone call, and then eventually like, it took like fucking 5 7 minutes. He eventually beckoned me over, and then he was like, "Hi, so you ordered seven French fries, seven sodas, and seven burgers, right?" I thought he was joking. I said, "Oh, no, I didn't. I actually just only one burger." And he and the bitch next to him were staring at me like I was fucking stupid or schizophrenic or something. And that pissed me off, and I just thought to myself, okay, why am I being put in this awkward situation? Like, what? Like, I don't know, sometimes I get put in unfathomably stupid situations. And then it's like, see, this is why I have a temper now, because I'm so tired of leaving my house and having stupid people do stupid shit. And I told him I only placed an order for one burger and I haven't even placed it yet. Like, we talked about a food coupon, and he stared at me like I was talking in a foreign language until I looked at him and said, "The coupon you're holding in your hands right now?" And then he looked at it and it was like, "Oh, so just one burger?" And like, yeah. And then, oh my god, the rest of that day was so bad. I remember, like, I just simply, sorry, to sum up the rest of it, I waited for a really long time for my food, and he did a few rude things that I don't fully remember, but the most noteworthy thing was he called out a number for, and like, I remembered that I was like 93 or something. Like, I didn't fully remember my number though, because it was in my pocket. He called out a number that was like 92, but I only heard him say 90, and I kind of perked up. But before I could even like unroll out my ticket and stuff, mind you, this dude was the cashier who was taking everyone's orders and shit. Like, I didn't assume it was mine. I was standing far away on the end of the room. I pulled out my ticket to check it, and then the cashier guy, he looks at me. He's like, "Hey." I look up, he waves me over and nods and says, "This is your food." So I take the food, I nod to him, and I'm on my way out. And then next thing you know, this other guy's like, "Hey, hey, that's my food. She's taking my food." I'm like, "Huh? What is it?" Wait, wait, wait. And then I compare numbers, and then instead of the cashier just taking responsibility for yet again getting food mixed up, he just tried to pin it on me like, "Don't take food that's not yours. That's not your number. That's not your food." I said, "Okay, then don't beckon for me to get my food as you see me trying to check my number if it's clearly not my food." Like, I didn't, like, you're the one who beckoned me over confidently saying this food was mine. I would not reach for that food otherwise. He was like, "Don't go for food that's not yours." I said, "Okay, then don't try to give away food that's not yours and it's not mine either." And we had a back and forth over it. Let's just say the rest of the interaction went so bad that I just got like a full cup of soda. I drank as much of it as I wanted, and then before I left, I just threw that shit on the floor for him to clean up. And he was mad as hell. I think he like I ran down the fucking street to the bus stop, and I just heard him yelling and being like, "Damn, what the fuck, man," and like being all angry. But it's like, that's not my fucking issue. Just how did you over? It's like, see, because I was just gonna be a simple normal member of society, just eating. And also, he fucked up my burger, and I'm pretty sure he fucked it up on purpose. Like, it was just like every single like, it was just, if you knew what happened when I opened up that box and sat down before I got that soda, it looked like a fucked up salad that just got mangled or something. It like, oh, so yeah. I'm tired of customer service workers. If you don't want to work in the kitchen or at a cash register, don't. If you like, and also have a little bit of humility, have some sense, and also at least be able to know some fucking words on the goddamn menu, and know what, like, if someone walks into the restaurant, say, "Hi, how are you?" Like, Jesus. I forget that not everyone went through a job program like I did when I was young that taught you proper job etiquette. Some people are just fucking just got the job and lose it just as quickly. I remember this one girl at a luxury apartment building I worked at. Like she got hired and I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you. My name's Tamia. Nice. Oh, so are you gonna be? You'll probably recognize me because I'll work the overnight shift, like 12 to 8 a.m. And then she didn't make eye contact and she kind of was snarky and she was like, I think that's the shift I'll be working. Like she had a weird attitude and didn't introduce herself. So I kind of thought to myself, cool, she's not gonna last here long. And then sure enough, she didn't because like she dealt with bullshit on a few of her shifts. She was not equipped to deal with it. And at some point, this old dude, I guess, came downstairs and started yelling at her all angry, like, "Ooh, why did someone take my food? You let someone take my food. You probably stole my food too. Blah blah blah." Having a massive attitude. And then the manager, he stepped up. He was like, "Oh, stop yelling at her. Also, I'm sorry, girl. If you want to go on your break early, you can have it because you deserve it." Did that fucking happen? How do I put this? Let's just say she was screaming at the top of her lungs at the tenant, and then because she couldn't handle her rage and her anger, and she was not a professional in any single way, shape, or form, she started screaming her head off at the managers. You know, the people who were trying to help her and calm her down and let her go on her break early and let her know she did nothing wrong. And then they were just like, yeah, we think you're better for somewhere else. And she got fired because she didn't have proper job etiquette. I'm so tired of people getting into jobs where it's easy as fuck and then they want to bring the stress. Like, ma'am, like, it's a simple fucking job. You call an elevator or you press a button every now and then. And you could do fuck all for the rest of your shift. It's an easy job. Why would you come in and just start yelling at people and being transphobic and throwing fits and being like, I remember this one bitch, she was literally stealing people's packages. Or technically, it's like a weird. It's like some of the packages they were gonna throw out in the garbage anyway, but she did just openly go, "Hey, this one's close enough to the date we would throw it out," and she just would fucking dig in and take as much food and groceries from them as she could, and yeah, ghetto shit. Anyway, bye.